Good now and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show, the official morning show of the financial revolution. My name is Evan. It is so good to be here with you this Tuesday morning. Coughing? Try coffee instead. Thank you for joining me here today. It is a wonderful day because, golly, goodness gracious. Because there's plenty of good crypto stuff to talk about. After a scary afternoon, Bitcoin has made a jump back up. The bull run continues. The meme coin casino hasn't gone anywhere. And there's lots of substantive stuff happening in the cryptocurrency space. Also, I am so excited to tell you that Crypto the Game is coming back. And if you missed it, oh boy, it's like Survivor, but on-chain and make it crypto. I'm excited about that. Your boy is going to try and play. And in the not too distant future, I hope to have a little more about that. This week we've got a big week in terms of guests coming up. I don't know when they'll be here, but Arcade is coming. And Alex is going to be about 10 minutes late. So when Dad is away, the kids will play. And I thought it'd be fun, just you and I. Maybe we could have a little talk. We could start looking at some tokens if you want to. I'm happy to answer any questions you have because this is the show where we slow down the conversation around blockchain. We go beyond the hype and headlines to help you understand why this stuff might matter to you personally. Because whether you're a super financier or a highly technical person or just somebody's teacher or a firefighter or a grandma or a son, you will encounter this in the not too distant future. And when you do, we want to make sure that you're safe. We want to make sure that you're able to use it in a way that benefits you. So that's what we're here to do. Alex and I work in the industry every day. We don't know all the stuff, but we've seen a lot of it, and we have some pretty great friends. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. And thank you so much for being here. Roz, thank you very kindly for the likes. I really appreciate it. And as we're bringing everybody in, I want to say, do me a favor. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please do subscribe to the newsletter. It's at the link in my bio and at theriseupmorningshow.com. It's a once a week, very brief newsletter. We just got deplatformed from Mailchimp. That's why we're into blockchain and crypto in the first place, is so that nobody can deplatform us. And we sent out a rogue edition last night, freed from the clutches of Mailchimp's wrath. We sent out a newsletter that I understand has some copy that is just terrible to read. So I am so sorry about that. Rest assured, we are working on newsletters to find a better partner so that you can have your next edition much more easy to read. And the Rise Up newsletter will have a forever home by this weekend. That's our hope. Alex has made some inroads with an awesome service called SOLMail that I hope he's going to tell us more about, and that I can't wait to learn more about too. It is the ability, we hope, to send email with just a Solana address on the blockchain, the good old blockchain. So we're looking forward to it. Roz, thank you very kindly for the likes. Excuse me, I don't recognize you. If this is your first time here, leave me a comment and let me know where you're tuning in from. I'd be glad to know. And everybody else, if this is your first time here, drop in, say hi, tell me where you're watching from. Let me know if you hold any cryptocurrency, if you're familiar with what blockchain is, if it's something you're curious about, or if it's one of those things that you only encounter at dinner parties when someone is trying to evangelize you. It's the future, right? We've all been there, myself included. Hey, Roz, what a great thing. That's where I'm at. I'm in Memphis. I wonder if we are neighbors. How exciting. I'm going to give you a follow back. That's great. I live in the Heights. I live in Mitchell Heights. Just down the street from Treadwell School. You can catch me out walking almost every day. It'd be great to see you. And it'd be great to see any of you. Let me know where you are, where you're tuning in from. Let me know what your thoughts are about cryptocurrency. Let me know if you have questions. And if you're one of our regular friends and community members, thank you so much for being here and welcome back. I am very excited to tell you more about SOLMail. And of course, we've got some other stuff we're working on too. There were some really great picks from everybody in the newsletter. SOLMail was Alex's pick of a token for you to look into and research. But Mihir had a really good one, Heroes of Mavia, the second most searched Web3 game. It's crossed a significant threshold of views and downloads. And then Joe posted one called Domi that I was unfamiliar with. And I was quite impressed with just the way they were marketing their game. It sounded like I'm gonna slaughter it, but it was like a game with no level or skill cap and dire consequences or something like that. I don't know. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. So stuff to check out there for sure. It's all in the Rise Up newsletter for when you can't tune into the show, because even though we're here Monday through Thursday, we try to be available for all your questions. We absolutely can't cover it all, and you can't watch it all. So that's what the newsletter's for. It's a totally free, totally brief, because I hate newsletters, synopsis of everything we talk about that has value on the show each week. The best bullet points, the best links, like Coinly, the tax software that can help you get your crypto sources right for when you got to report them at tax time. Like CoinGecko, like Token Sniffer that you can use when you're looking at a new token to see if other people have audited it, if it passes the sniff check. Super helpful stuff that it's sometimes hard to find because it's hard to know what questions to ask when you're learning. It's hard to know what you can trust, what you can't. This is stuff you don't have to trust. You can just try for yourself and verify. And you can watch to see us vet it on the show in real time. Roz says, I have crypto. I have played the casino game in the meta, but I'm still learning. Well, aren't we all? We absolutely all are still learning. Out by Millington, how cool. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for being here, and thank you very much for the likes. Alex is going to join us. He had a meeting this morning in just a little bit, so like I said, we're hanging out. Roz, do you have any questions about crypto that you're encountering right now? Because it looks like it's just us right now. And I'm totally fine with it. Happy to answer any questions you might have. And if I can't answer them, I bet I know someone who can. And that's my other ask for you is if you want to get connected to a great community, that's the best way to learn about crypto. We have curated a community in Discord, totally free. Anyone can join. It's a much easier place to ask your questions than TikTok because you won't have character limits. And you can see files, you can see links, things like that. It's much more helpful, and it's at the link in my bio or at theriseupmorningshow.com. Meme coins, how safe are they? I wouldn't say they're dangerous. The way that meme coins aren't dangerous the way penny stocks aren't dangerous. Though there are a lot of risks investing in them. The principal risk is that most of them don't have any future. They will go to zero. Minutes before I was on this phone call, let me see if I can pull this up for you. Minutes before I was on this phone call, I was at what Alex and I lovingly refer to as the meme coin casino. I was watching a token to see which tokens were launching. Good morning, Tori. It's good to be here with you. Alex is joining us in a minute, so we're hanging out until he gets here. Roz, I found a token that had just been launched. That's kind of the secret. One of the secrets is you either want to find a token that stood the test of time or a token that's just been launched and hasn't had a chance to do anything but go up yet. And this token that I found, it was called Friends. Let's look at it. It's dead now. It's less than an hour old. Let's see. Is this the right one? Yeah, totally. Okay, check this out. Are meme coins safe? Sure, they're safe, but what you're getting into. This morning, let me zoom into this so you can really see where it lives. Oh, come now. What are you doing? I would like to see the chart. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So this morning, when it's just a couple of seconds old, this is, oh, golly, goodness gracious, why do you keep doing that to me, friends? You see that? You see that? Every time. Every time. Okay. Take me over here. This token is less than an hour old. And these are the different little price candles I've got on it. This morning, I was looking on Deck Screener and happened to see it when it was not even a minute old. And at that time, you just know, almost certainly, people are going to put pennies into it to try and make the price go up. And at that point, it's just a game to see how long will it live? Will it live or will it die? And what happened to me was, I happened to purchase a very small amount, and I was clicking refresh, 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 refresh. And as soon as I made money, I sold it. But most people, as you can see, lost all their money on this token, and it's not come back. So it's totally a gamble. All meme coins are totally a gamble. The way you would go to a casino and play slots with your friends and hope to have the fastest finger on the button, or hope to, get a lucky number on the wheel, that's totally what this kind of stuff is. And there's a little strategy to it and a lot of stuff you can do to keep yourself safe. But if you want to truly invest, you don't want to buy tokens like this. Investing is putting your money somewhere where you believe it will have a return, your time, your attention. And so if you stick around and hang out with Alex and I, hopefully, help you identify some ways that will turn profit on your investment of attention. It's your most valuable asset. Oh my gosh, Tori, what did you get in the mail yesterday? Is it the mug? Oh my gosh, Tori, I hope it is. And I do hope quitting went well. Everybody, give Tori some likes and give Tori a follow. She's if you're new to this community, especially if you're going to be in the Discord, make friends with Tori. She's just a helpful, thoughtful, creative, kind individual who's a longtime friend of before there was a show, Tori was a friend of the show. And now she's in the mug club. That means I got to send you a POAP for the mug. We do POAPs for everything, NFTs for everything, tokens for everything. That is so exciting that it went well. Oh, I'm so glad for you. Yeah, give Tori a follow if you believe that a better future and a better world are possible, because that's the kind of content that Tori is putting out. How exciting! And you are very helpful. The mug. You're still in Crow, like crocrypto.com. Here's another piece of advice is don't be afraid if you are investing money in crypto to cut your losses. And it can be really helpful to have a target for yourself that you set before you click buy. When I click buy on a token, I know how long I want to hold it, and I have sort of ripcords. Like, if I decide that I want to hold a token for a year because I believe it's going to increase in value or it's going to give me something else that's important to me, I will have a condition like if it goes, if it drops in value 80%, or if the vision of the leadership team changes significantly, or if the product is a dud when it launches on the market, whatever. Or if something else is doing better. I'm not a high net worth individual. I think most retail investors, especially in the cryptocurrency space, are not. Yet a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space get caught up in this hype of almost a cult of personality around certain tokens. It's really unfortunate because your tokens, your investments, they really don't care what you think about them. And that would be my advice to you, is recognize that it's okay to cut your losses. Some things are down only, and sunken cost fallacy is real. We have a tendency to hang on to things we have invested time and energy and attention in, even when they no longer serve us. So be honest with yourself, and don't be afraid to ask your friends. That's another good thing about having a community, is you can say, hey, I bought this when it was worth $1 a token, and now for the last 5 years, it's been worth pennies on that dollar. And I don't want to get rid of it, but I feel like it's time. What do you think? And you can hear what people say. And in a room like that, that's not an echo chamber, that's not like your favorite influencer's live stream where they're just going to kind of hype up what they believe in, you might get some better feedback. People who know you personally. Nobody here on TikTok can give you any kind of investment advice. We're not licensed to do that. But in the context of a community, we can support each other towards goals we have. We can give honest feedback. The best investment is not what I think the best investment is. The best investment is a one size fits me kind of thing. It's personal to you. Yeah, and I've been living life that's a win-win and forget about what could have been. A win-a-win and forget about what could have been. I love that. I just bought some crypto, also NVIDIA, Intel, and miscellaneous other stocks. And there's Alex. Hey, cool. NVIDIA's been ripping. Let me tell you what. And those chips, those processors they make, there's not going to be a slow of demand for them anytime. That's for sure. Welcome, Alex. How you doing, man?
Good. Sorry about the delay there.
He said, huh. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you're totally
that's
fine. We were just
that's how I'm doing.
we were celebrating with. I met a friend from Memphis in Roz who's newish, has some curiosity about crypto, and then I met some other friends, and then we got to
Cool.
celebrate with Tori because one, quitting her job went well, and her mug arrived. Woohoo! And I was apologizing to folks because I saw that our newsletter, though it did finally go out free from the clutches of Mailchimp, had all those just had terrible copy that didn't show up in the editor. So I assured everybody that this time we would find a forever home for our beautiful, beautiful newsletter, and that you had a lead on it. That
let me.
SOLMail was promising.
Well, yeah, let me tell you what happened.
Tell me a story, man.
So, long story short, we got kicked off Mailchimp, right? And I tweeted about it, and you know how on Twitter there's the view similar posts. I chased that, and I realized, holy shit, going back years, there are just dozens and dozens and dozens of cases of crypto related content being deplatformed from Mailchimp. And I did not see a single one that managed to resolve it. So, that checked out because Evan sent them like an appeal. It was even like it was just an inquiry. It was like, hey, is there any way that we can,
what can we do
to talk? Is there any way we can we get through this together? And and it was a resounding and immediate and automatically generated no. So fuck that. We're over that. But I was then watching one of my favorite small cap projects, SOLMail, because yesterday they sent the first, the alleged first. I haven't dug enough to know if this is for sure, but I mean it certainly looks that way, and the UI that they've set up is really cool. But the first blockchain or the first on-chain wallet-to-wallet email, which is really neat, and I was texting a friend of mine who's a Solana developer, and I was just like, hey, have you ever heard of this mail thing? And we were talking back and forth, whatever. And then long story short, I decided to tweet at Solana Mail. It's just like, hey, how long till we can send our newsletter with your guys' product? And within, 15 seconds of tweeting it, they commented, let's talk. And then we got in the DMs, and they were very gracious and super, super friendly. And we are hopefully going to speak to them later this week about potentially setting up an on-chain newsletter. I think that in this case, we would do probably both. It really depends. Yeah. I don't know that this, I don't think that they're going to be necessarily ready for a large thing, like this going out yet. But in the case that they do get there, or that it looks like it's going to be a good fit, which I'm really hopeful for, then we would probably start collecting Solana wallet addresses and offering an on-chain delivery of the newsletter to anyone who wants to participate that way, because I think that would be so sick.
And absolutely, like, why wouldn't we build our on-chain audience? I'm giving I don't remember if I do those talks sometimes at U of M. I have a professor friend over there, and she has a marketing class, and sometimes I go talk to them at the business college. I'm going today, and
You gotta stop calling it U of M, Evan.
I know, man. I know. It's terrible. I actually met someone the other day who went to the real U of M here in Memphis. And he said, "Oh, I went to U of M in Michigan." And I said, "Oh, the real U of M?" He was like, "Yeah." It's seeped into my bones, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to the University of Memphis
There it is.
this afternoon to talk to a marketing class at the business college, and we're talking about, like, okay, they're using like a dashboard. It's called Rival IQ to gather information for brands, competitors, as if they were like the marketing point person. They're getting all this data. This is your best Facebook post. This is your best Twitter post. This is how many audience, all this stuff. But now they need to figure out like what to do with it. And so I'm basically going to use the show as a case study and talk about our, journey through platforms. And what I think is really interesting to talk about with this group of people is right now, email is the standard because people don't feel anything else is safe. You can be deplatformed everywhere else. Twitter with Elon, Facebook with Zuck, TikTok with Congress. What is real if not email? And the truth is, even email is not guaranteed. Mm-hmm. And so I am excited for us to start building our on-chain audience as Mailchimp has just deplatformed us. Yep. It'll be great to really, finally, truly, have a connection with people. That's why we've been doing the POAPs. I need to make a more concerted effort to be on Warpcast. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening. Coyote was saying about with AI, like AI, we're so early, it's a continuing race. But this on-chain stuff, on-chain is the new online. And it is so early. And there is so much potential for us to really connect with our community and communities we care about. I can't wait to talk to the SOLMail people. I hope we get to have them on the show. I hope they want to come on the show and talk about what they're building, because I think it probably is ripping.
I offered them a spot if they wanted to come on. I said, we can either bring you guys up. If you want to do a live thing, I can send you a bunch of questions that you can, send me a write-up for that I'll present. Or if you'd prefer, we can do a dedicated recording, jump into StreamYard and record a, 30, 45 minute or something like that, interview together and go through it that way. So I think in some capacity that's going to be the move. But and of course right now it's cool. The market is reacting to them accomplishing what they did yesterday, and they got a lot of attention from like the core Solana founding team. That was pretty sweet. So the price moved about 400% in the last 24 hours. So
yeah, I texted Alex yesterday because I knew he bought into it last week, and I hadn't seen much happening with it. It was kind of just slow burning, and I looked at the chart and it was like whoop. And I said, "Hey, man, you still holding on to that?" And he said, "Yeah." I was like, "Good for you, brother."
I'm absolutely still holding on to that. It's
the tail of a rocket ship.
Daniel down there is the one who turned me onto it in the first place. Started reading. What's funny too is that chat and mail have spawned their own derivative, and I've never seen this particular kind of derivative project before. Usually, when you derive off of something's hype, you're going off of a trendy meme, and how can you adjust it to make it more topical or throw in a little extra flavor of a different meme or something like that, right? But this one really spawned like a just trove of what I would call probably fake utility projects. Things that were like just memes or rug pulls in the making that were like, some fake decks or some fake bridge or, Soul, and I don't know that these are all bullshit. It's just they all came out after SOLMail. So it was like Soul GPT, Soul Media, Soul Talk, Soul, all kinds of stuff. Daniel, that is exactly what I was thinking about that too is that was a wild video to make, Evan, that he posted yesterday.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. I agree
Holy,
completely.
I sat
I
there
didn't want to
watching
like
it
reply,
like
put it in the comments.
I almost commented something to the effect of my brother in Christ, please talk to an attorney because I'm scared for you. You are dancing with the devil right now.
Yeah,
And
he's no idiot. I'm honestly amazed. I don't get it.
he quite literally said in this context of the same thing, one, that the fuck it. We need to get into
We're doing
this
too much
is
inside baseball. Listen, okay. Uh, quick sidebar. If you watch crypto TikTok, you've seen Alex Costa, a creator, World War Bitcoin, whose takes I often am like, yeah, that's pretty sound. I think he does really interesting analysis that even when I don't agree with it, is worth listening to because he talks through his rationale, which is really way more than 99% of all people do. I find it
yeah.
tremendously helpful. And yesterday, I happened upon a video where he very excitedly told his followers, without explicitly saying it, that he had, one of these, like, launched a meme token. What he said in the video was that he was the largest holder of this meme coin he had discovered. And then in other places, he said he was the developer. I think that may have been his attempt to, like, create layers for legal purposes. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it. But he more or less said, this thing has gone to $40 million in market cap, which is significant in 3 days. It's a meme coin. And first, and if it got to 200 million, he was going to do something unprecedented that it was the classic. I have seen so many people say that thing so many times. Uh, not usually somebody I know and somebody I like, I will say like or trust. Um, and he more or less was asking us to trust me, bro, which was just it was all so off brand for him and kind of wild. And then I went to check it out, and sure enough, I don't know. The bigger thing to me, honestly, is how was there a token in the Solana meme coin casino that had a $40 million market cap that, as much time as we spend there right now, that I haven't
Yeah.
seen before? I
No,
was baffled. And
yeah,
then I bought a little bit.
I I check the the new pairs pretty regularly. Didn't see it, especially not one that went up that high. It's crazy to me that it went that crazy over the weekend and didn't make the trending page. That's very strange. I don't fully understand how that's possible. Um, but no, he I've recommended his content to a lot of people because exactly what you said. He presents, a case and then he gives like 3 minutes of amplifying evidence and supporting information for why ever he made that claim, which I can respect. Um, I've always felt like he did a good job of saying, like I don't really know where this is going, but I wouldn't be surprised if based on X, Y, Z, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, whatever, lots of reasons. So it's one of the few other people who talks about the price action of stuff that I could be like, okay, I can learn something from you. I can respect what you do as long as I approach it rationally, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I saw that video that you sent me about that, and I was like, this dude literally just went on social media with his face and said, I hold 23% of the supply of this meme token. You will be mind blown what happens when you guys send it to 100 million. Send it to 100 million because I'm going to like redefine the meme coin landscape. You will not regret. Like, this is unabashed financial advice about an incredibly risky investment of which he is a large shareholder in. And all we have to go on is his word in a TikTok that he's not going to sell until 100 million. And dude, you broke 3 laws in
Yeah.
in 4 minutes, dude. Like, you need to fucking watch yourself, big fella, because go to fucking jail, dude.
And I mean, I can't believe that he's got to have a lawyer. Like,
I hope
right?
so.
And
If
it
if
he
he
knows.
if he doesn't have well, first of all, I don't know that he has an attorney, because no attorney would be okay with that video existing, and it would not be still up, because that video is a clear like violation of CFTC regulation. Like, I'm sorry.
Maybe he's okay with going to jail. What do you think about that? What if
Sure.
that's part of the thing?
For the meme?
Because like I there are things I would go to jail for sure.
Okay. A meme coin one of them, Evan?
I mean, I don't know. This is the thing that's giving me the most dissonance, Alex. Is if I felt like I had found an answer. You've seen how I get when I get an idea I'm excited about. If I felt like I had some kind of answer and needed to tell people about it, and it didn't make sense, as weird as it sounds, I could see myself making that exact kind of video.
No,
I don't know how to explain it to you except to say that.
Okay,
Like,
well, if you ever posted that video, I would drive to Memphis and kick you in the crotch and then take it down.
be like, yeah, we have to delete this now. I know you would. That's why we're friends, man. I know you do that for me.
I couldn't believe I watched that video with a look like, because I was just like, this dude is this dude is committing crimes, high crimes and misdemeanors. Man. Yeah, I almost reached out to him. I was like, dude, are you okay? Like,
yeah, blink twice.
Do they have your family? Why are you doing this right now?
Oh my God. I don't know. It was either way, it was wild. And I bought a tiny bed.
I mean,
and I'm totally fine to lose that money because now I'm invested in the narrative though. And I will report back. I will absolutely report back.
I couldn't believe
it. Amazed it's 41 million. So, sorry I derailed you. Sorry to everyone in the chat because we had some good comments about
this. This is topical. This is relevant.
It is.
I'm here to tell you that video contained at least 2 crimes that you cannot do in the United States of America.
Yeah, you're right. So let's talk about it. You're right. Talking about Alex Costa's meme coin release. This is not a shade or hate thing. We're just analyzing it from what our lawyers have told us and what we have seen happen in the space perspective. Yeah. So what are some of the things that are legal red flags here? From us, not lawyers, who have lawyers.
He is creating hype and excitement around a financial product that he's not licensed to advertise in the way that he's advertising. And he stands to make a tremendous amount of money if people do what he says to do. He incentivized financially people to purchase something from him, which is securities offering.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he may have allocated himself some of it before he, it claims to be a fair launch, but that only means in meme coins, when people say fair launch, really all they're saying is there is no VC in the world that has invested in this. And what VC in the world would invest in a meme coin?
No.
So like.
Yeah, and it's right there. There might be more implications. But I can tell you from repeated firsthand experience with lawyers literate in the Web3 space, that you cannot financially incentivize people to buy a product unless you have very specific licensing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you would never do that without an attorney consultation. I mean, we literally couldn't even specifically reward NFT holders without breaking laws.
No. Right.
You certainly couldn't ever advertise that, NFT holders were going to earn a reward. That phrase right there by itself is illegal.
I mean,
so yeah. You just, I don't know, it was crazy. It was crazy to me. I sent it to a bunch of
I'm honestly just getting
like, what are you?
Kaufman vibes. I don't think it's a performance. I don't think it's a performance. Like, Alex doesn't strike me as the kind of guy, and I don't know, maybe he's that good. I would be impressed. But it's still illegal, even if it's a performance at the point, because now people have actually put money in it. It would be one thing, like, to launch a meme coin that doesn't physically exist and play this character. Like, I don't know, Jeff the Dunker could do that really well. I would love to see something like that from Jeff the Dunker, for example. Buy this token, buy this Ponzi token, whatever. Just wild. He did not. Did you buy it? Oh, I absolutely did. Are you kidding me? I'm along for the ride. I'm in the meme coin casino, baby. I am here. I am stacking a bag, a little bit at a time every day. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. That's the money. That's what that money is for. That,
I
that money
mean,
is for the memes.
if you
I fully expect that I will never see it again. And
if
honestly,
you look at
if it
this
hits
thing,
$200 million market cap, I don't know what's he going to do to it. Rug the whole project, and he holds 23% of the supply. 23% of 200 million. Somebody help me out. We're talking. It'd still be like $150 million market cap. I'd still be in the. I'm watching this thing every day, all the time. I'm either losing a very small bit of money or making a very small bit of profit, and I'm getting a hell of a story out of it the way I would only hope to if I spent $20 on a dinner somewhere in town. You know what I mean? Um, I would not advise you to do it. You should, you know.
I mean, there's something afoot here, just because, like, if you look at the transaction histories, the buys coming in, they don't look like any other meme buy. They're like way too slow and measured for something that's grown as fast as this. And it's like, here, this dude just bought $11,500 worth, and his total buys are $425,000, only over 13 transactions, of which he's sold $270,000 worth. There are sells in excess of $5,000, like every, I don't know, every 10, 20 minutes. And these are all people who have held for 3 days and 22 hours, which is as long ago.
Suspicious. Wow.
So this thing, there's no fucking way this was fair launched. I would be mind blown.
Yeah, and there's a Telegram for it that I jumped into just because I did the same kind of thing as you. I wanted to see what was going on, wanted to check it out, and let me see. Oh my God, there's been 18. This is why I hate Telegram. There's been 1,800 messages since I joined last night. And I was looking for people I knew because surely I'm not the only person in the world who knows Alex from TikTok that has like we've got to have a mutual friend somewhere. Um, there's an admin called Rose who is a bot. There's a buy bot that tells when everybody's buying. And I suspect most of these people are just from Alex's audience. My goodness, there are so many messages in this Telegram group. How does anybody in the audience, did anybody here use Telegram well? The only reason I use Telegram now is for BunkBot.
Yeah, I mean, I use it pretty prolifically, but
I'm scrolling, people. I'm scrolling. Yeah, I don't see any names I recognize, but do you see any other wallets like that? How many would you say were there at the start? I mean, and look at the chart too, because the volume was not like. I mean,
it's
it
weird,
crept.
dude.
I don't
It's
know how
so
it didn't
weird.
show up on trending index screener, frankly. And I would love to talk to Alex about it, honestly, privately. I don't know that I'd want to have it on the show because exactly what the legal risk and liability. I don't want to come off like, we're endorsing it, but I'm just so curious.
I'm not touching that. I mean, I would curiously ask him, um, about it privately, but I'm not fucking touching that, dude. I'm not trying to get arrested.
I don't think you can get arrested for buying it.
No, not for buying it. I'm talking about for like platforming it or talking about it like with the creator or like platforming the promotion.
No.
So, all right, we can move on to some other stuff, but just for anyone who's just joining, basically what we're covering right now is Alex Costa, World War Bitcoin, a creator here on TikTok that we've known for some years now. Posted a video yesterday about a meme coin that he is either the developer of or just a whale of. Either way, it's a meme coin on Solana that he holds 23% of the circulating supply of. And the thing has done about I don't know, a many thousand X in the last 4 days. It launched like right at midnight on the 22nd, 22nd of March, whatever day of the week that was. And the thing kind of petered around for, a full day and a half. And then all of a sudden it went to a $40 million market cap. And he made a video that is straight up illegal, heavily promoting and financially motivating and incentivizing people to buy this meme coin, of which he stands to profit tremendously from. So just real weird. And it was so out of character that it struck me, to say the least.
Yeah, I was shooketh.
Yeah.
I was shooketh. And the Telegram is just, it's too many messages. I'm not able to catch up to it, but it's a lot of Telegram, Twitter, hopium. People are starting to worry. How soon do you think the price will go up? Have faith. Somebody just bought in big. It's like, I don't know. I can't keep scrolling through it. I wondered if the video was AI, honestly. And there's another guy on here doing the same thing. Listen, there are a lot of people who are doing this kind of thing, for sure. Most of them, I would say, the only reason we're covering this and it's noteworthy, is because of how much it contrasts with like the brand and reputation we associate Alex with. Like this measured, thoughtful approach kind of guy who often has opinions we may disagree with, but is usually very thoughtful about them. He might even be alive right now. I don't know. You can check. He's usually live around this time. Somebody go find out and report back. He said it's his project on his live yesterday, and yeah, it's been up since Friday. My gosh. Ooh. No risk if you do it from a critical and journalistic perspective. Yes, but here's the risk, is that there are 106 people watching right now. And no matter how critical and journalistic Alex and I might be, there is the chance that somebody is going to see and hear that, and they're going to buy it. I just don't want to. There are so many good things to talk about that are better investments of your time and attention. That's not a hateful or shady thing against Alex. And the other thing is, we don't want to expose ourselves to legal liability, because you know how law is. It's subjective. It is interpretable. And it's the kind of thing that if he is legally found culpable for whatever, I don't know. I would rather not be called in as a witness or whatever you call somebody, a corroborating partner.
Yeah.
How are they gonna know that he wasn't in Telegram? I bought some as like an experiment. And so if I have him on the show, then what's that look like? And it's your friend Evan here, like, hey, I'm just asking him some questions. But cops, they're skeptical as hell of people like me. Why are you so friendly, guy? You got something to hide? You know what I mean? And I don't blame them. That's their job. So, Alex, I have to ask you, as a way to segue, do you remember what was your first impression of me? I saw a video the other day that was it was some musicians doing that. Musicians in a band. They were doing, what was your first impression? And one of them said to the other one, well, I don't remember my first impression of you because I was on drugs. And the other guy said, my first impression of you was, this guy seems like he's on drugs. So that checks out. Do you remember what your first impression of me was?
I don't remember if I met, did I meet you first through your content, or did I meet you first in the old
I bet you met me first
Discord?
through Discord. I met you through your content, and I don't think my content was, reaching anyone at that time. And it mostly was talking about esoteric things, not a ton of crypto stuff. I bet you probably met me first in Discord.
I mean, I don't remember necessarily the immediate first thing from, meeting you. I remember my first thought absolutely from seeing you in person for the first time, which is, goddamn, that son of a bitch is tall. But I think I just remember having a conversation about you with Mac once when we were kind of first in the early formation of the whole team or whatever. And I just said that you absolutely could not hire another Evan if you tried. Like, I think I said something to the effect of, how does one just stumble upon an Evan? You couldn't hire another Evan if you tried.
I was just thinking about it because I was like, what did I honestly was struggling to remember. I saw you from your content, and I remember thinking you were like, helpful. First of all, I was so glad to see your content because I was like, oh man, here's a guy talking about crypto who doesn't seem like he's trying to sell something. That's great. And then I remember seeing you in the Discord, and you reminded me of like like a busy bee. I was like, look at this guy, just being helpful and answering. And but I also was like, I wonder. I think I was skeptical, as I always am about anybody in the crypto space. I was like, what's the angle? Not that I suspected you of any foul play or whatever, but I was like, I'd like to get to know this guy, everyone better. And then, over time, I just kept thinking, we're so lucky. We're so lucky. We're so lucky. Because we just had the best crypto community.
I'm playing the long game, Evan.
Yeah. That's okay, because so am I. I just want to read the comment that made me say that was, Divergence said, I'm not touching nothing but Alex. And the way you phrased that, I don't know what you meant, but it made me think he meant you personally. That's all he's touching, baby.
Shall
we could invite Alex Costa, but like I said, we're just not gonna, because he's got his own platform. He's talking about it. We want to keep everyone safe here. If we talk to him backstage, maybe we'll report on it. I don't know, in a special segment or something. You can take our word for it. It'll be hearsay.
I'll report on it. We're not platforming that because I am way too busy to go to jail. So no, thank
you. Ring AI, if you would. Floyd asked, do you want to do some crypto? We also had some other requests. So hey, listen. If you're here with us, thank you so much. We love you for being here. Sorry we took so long on that. If you've got a crypto question, you got something you want us to look into, let us know. I've been boning up on all kinds of stuff. I just learned a lot about the Denkun upgrade. Boring. After such exciting news about the meme coin casino. Alex has learned about SOLMail. Moderately exciting. But, if there's something you want us to look up, you want us to give our feedback on, we're happy to go through, do some diligence, sniff some tokens with you. That's what we're here for. And we're here every Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. And if you want to see us go live another time, we've been playing around with it. We did Rise Up After Dark last Friday. And we would love to just find the right time to reach the most people with the best helpful crypto content. That's what we're here for. That's why we've got the newsletter. That's why we got the Discord. That's why we're doing more stuff on YouTube. So find it all at theriseupmorningshow.com and then leave us a comment. Let us know. Ring AI.
Dude, side note. Well, and he could do it too. There's a meme that's number 2 trending on Solana right now.
Okay.
It's currently at its all-time high. It's 7 hours old.
Yeah, I almost bought this one last night.
Dude.
I was up late.
Okay, so this is the headline on Crypto Panic that led me to this thing. Solana trader turns 35,000 into 9 million in 2 hours. He hasn't sold. I just looked at the wallet, but so it's what is this thing called?
It's about Mew. Right?
Yeah, cat in a dog's world is
cat
the meme.
In a dog's world. The better meme I thought that I almost also bought into was 2 cats in a dog's world. Ticker Mew2. I thought it was just too good, man. But I wanted to go to bed. I didn't want to sit at my computer, and I didn't trust these tokens to still be alive in the morning.
Well, no, because there is no. I mean, no, that's not foolish. Because so I got rugged 3 times yesterday. Little teeny, I got rugged for $10 3 times. But one of them. This was from 2 days ago. I was chatting with a bunch of other degenerates, and we were like trying to find funny memes. And I found this one. I was on the phone with Evan when I found it. It was called Boeing with Hole, and it was a topical meme, right? Because the door had just fallen off of a Boeing 737, and it ended up, not I fumbled that one. It's dead, obviously. Don't trouble yourself. I'll save you the time.
Yeah, don't look it up.
But it was so funny that I saw it and I was just like, you know what? That genuinely made me giggle. That probably made someone else giggle, and that's the only thing you can. No data, just vibes, right? You can't apply anything else. There's no technical analysis. There's no like rhyme or reason. There's no logic to this. It's just vibes and garbage. But I was talking to this group, and me and one other person had gone in on it, and they were chastising me for calling out a rug. And my only reply to this person was, "But the door fell off." And they're like, "You know what? That was so funny that I am no longer upset about it because you're right. The door did fall off. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about this because I saw Mew as well, and I remember thinking like, oh, it's kind of funny, but like it didn't roll off the tongue. It didn't seem like a meme that was gonna crush. But apparently, this dude went in with someone just sold $100,000 worth of this thing, and it barely moved. I mean, the market cap is over $320 million. There's $26 million of liquidity.
If I had thrown 0.15 Sol into that, like I was thinking I might last night, right now that would be worth somebody do the math. It was a sub 100K market cap, so we're talking,
dude.
We're talking thousands.
Here,
I would have been buying everybody on the Rise Up Morning Show breakfast. But that's how it happens.
you want to know? You want to know what it would be, Evan?
Yeah, I do want to know what it would be. 0.15 Sol. I bought it at like 45 minutes in. So for all intents and purposes, just assume I made the whole thing.
Oops.
What is it?
470
Sol, 470 Sol times, what is it? $200 just about. Why not?
$90,000.
Not bad for a Monday. The bag fumbled. Oh my gosh. Daniel I don't doubt that your community is doing great. Send me your Telegram. I honestly don't need one more thing to pay attention to, but I've been catching some good. I've caught some good ones.
It's a funny one. It's a funny
buy
one.
Some homes probably.
It's no data, just vibes.
No data, just vibes. And shout out for the tip on Unibot. I actually have not used Unibot, but I'm sure it's fantastic. Is it as good as BonkBot? I'd like to.
I've never used that one.
I'm looking at it now, and I don't know. Oh, this is a ticker. I don't know. Tell me more about Unibot below. And Alex, I'm going to look up Ring AI if you want to tell the fine folks about SOLMail, what it is, what it does.
Yeah. So essentially, it's an on-chain email protocol, and email is one of those things that it's like easy to look at and say like, oh, haha, dinosaur tech, and then you stop and think about and realize that we like collectively as a species send about 350 billion emails every single day. So the backbone of internet communication right there. But I just thought it was cool. It made sense. I think their UI is sleek and it looks nice. And given how responsive they were, especially when I reached out, this was a really cool like Web3 moment.
Yeah.
Because I tagged them in that tweet, and then they DM'd me very quickly, and they said, I'm glad we caught you. The only reason, to be honest, that we saw it, because we are just flooded with notifications right now, is because a friend of ours, pointed it out. And I was like, oh, who is that? And it was like one of my ICP contacts from over a year ago that I haven't talked to in almost exactly a year. So that was a cool moment. But let's see, what is the Twitter? I think it's
SOLMail official.
SOLMail official. Yes, there we go.
And we link it in our most recent newsletter. I'm so sorry to everybody who got the newsletter hijacked from Mailchimp with all the weird colored fonts and stuff. I hope you can puzzle piece it together. I promise it'll be better next week when we have a permanent home. There it is, baby.
So if you're looking for the correct one to poke around a little bit, do a little bit of reading, that's the one right there. SOLMail official. I think it's cool. I'm really excited. This is one that I'm watching pretty closely. Um, I have
Real active, engaged community too. I loved like just seeing it was a real Web3 vibe in the comments under I went and followed everybody. It's the kind of thing you don't have to actually invest in this token to benefit from like learning about this particular technology.
yeah.
Because you might not feel like investing, which is totally cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a low cap, it's risky. All of those normal warnings apply. I do hold a bit of it, but I think one of the cool things I've never like cared to vote in a DAO before. Um, I might actually like take a little read and try to think if I have anything meaningful to contribute. It's kind of one of those things that I've talked about DAOs before. I'm overly not generally very bullish on DAOs. I think most of them are kind of bullshit. Um, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see kind of what the DAOs.
Ticker is SOLMail, right, Alex? I'm going to
No,
show you the chat.
it's just mail, but I wouldn't look at it that way. I would go to that Twitter there or their website and get the actual contract address.
Yeah, I agree. Go to Twitter. I'm going to type it in SOLMail official. And that way you'll get the link right. You won't mistype anything in Dex Screener. There are almost certainly some imitatees.
No, the ticker and or the excuse me, the contract address ends in Z5KF. I would genuinely be, cautious if you like we're gonna take a look at it at this point, just because it just made a pretty significant all-time.
Yeah, it's had a big up day.
It's big up. Big up.
And stay tuned because we'd love to have him on the show. So Ring AI was not a project I had heard about. I went to CoinGecko. I'm going to show you just some of the sniffing I did here. I didn't even put this into Token Sniffer. I went to CoinGecko, and the very first thing I saw was, according to Go Plus, which is another contract verification website, the contract creator can make changes to the token contracts, such as disabling sells, changing fees, minting, transferring tokens, etc. Exercise caution. So that right there is a red flag for me. But when I look at the chart, it's not necessarily enough to deter me from doing further research. All those things, they could be justified for one reason or another. Well, but then when I look at the chart, I see it's up and down, and I want to see how many people are holding on to this token. That's another metric I kind of want to see, because I want to know. Is it in any way, decentralized? I come over to Dex Screener and check it out. Look at all these wallets that are holding pretty big chunks, and it could be, if we follow them a little further, that they're a deployer wallet, that it's just a fair launch whale. But this is concerning to me.
Which one is this?
This is Ring AI. Ticker is Ring. And if you Google it, Ring AI, it comes right up on CoinGecko. Of course, if it's a different ticker and I've got it wrong, let me know. But it seems to be. I look at the exchanges it's available on. That's always another thing I like to look at. And then the last thing I'm going to look at is their website, because I'm going to see. Honestly, I could start there. Try ring.ai. Okay, I'll try it. And Web3 AI voice sales and support. Cute little website. Looks very professional. Ring beta. I'm curious to know what the product is. Honestly, truly. Beam promoter, ring promoter, injector promoter, whiff promoter. Interesting. Maybe it's got some potential. Here's the Beam demo. Let's see what it sounds like.
So where do you think Beamcoin is going? Like, how high? Well, it's today at around 1.7 cents. And the bull market appears to be just getting started.
Oh, they've got that evil villain AI voice. That little guy who sounds like your minion. That's interesting. Sounds like a crypto native product, but it could be the kind of thing, I don't know. Alex, our friend Michael could probably do this website and this product in an afternoon, which is not to say it's a bad product, which is only to say exercise caution, be
Yeah.
careful. This could be
No.
something somebody spun up to sell you a token. I've been looking at EarnFi lately because everyone's talking about that. I think EarnFi is a great example. Could that kind of technology be really promising and powerful as part of our daily lives someday? Yes. But in the context of EarnFi, it is packaged to sell you a token. That's my take on it. This is packaged to sell you a token, to make unscrupulous people say, whoa, the future is here. Let me buy it. I probably wouldn't invest in this.
The yesterday, one of the projects that I watched rug just because I had that exact same feeling. So the thing launched, it was less than an hour old, and they had a Twitter. And typically, when something launches like that and they throw a Twitter up, you know, it has like 20 followers, right? Because they tweet about a token and they get a bunch of bots that follow them right away. And that's the only thing. They have like one tweet that is like, here's the contract address, we're live. And then they send it. And this one, it was like for, what the hell was it even called? Some kind of bridge, orbit bridge or something like that. I don't know. It rugged last night. I wish that doesn't really narrow it down. A lot of stuff rugged last night, but it was some kind of bridge on Solana for something. Anyway, the Twitter was like an hour old and it had 5,000 followers, and immediately I was like, okay, so they bought a bunch of followers and they put it on the Twitter because, as we know, Elon Musk solved the bot problem on Twitter.
Yeah.
So
Thank God.
yeah. But they had a website that was like real clean looking and convincing. Like if you just looked at it, you looked like it was like, oh, this is a legitimate bridge protocol. Like they had a wallet connection. I absolutely did not attempt to connect a wallet to it. But I did click on it and it pulled up the, like relevant plugins and wallets that like you could connect if you wanted to. So like it appeared to be functional. I'm sure that the bridge protocol itself was not functional, although they certainly presented it as if it was. And, to somebody doing like a quick little smidge of diligence, they would like see a Twitter with 5,000 followers. They would see a website that looked like it was functioning, that looked like someone had put it together. And I'm sure that you could templatize that and like put that website up very quickly. Someone who's accomplished and does this kind of stuff.
And another red flag for me is I don't see the team. In AI, especially if you're building cool tech, I'm not saying that you can't have, Vitalik was a kid who worked at Bitcoin Magazine who wrote a brilliant protocol. Nobody knew who this guy was. The proof was in the pudding. But there's nothing about the team on their website. There's nothing that I can detect about the team on their Twitter after, a cursory search. And anybody in the AI industry who's building a real product, that's savvy and smart. I get it. Not everybody wants to be a personality or a brand. Not everybody is Steve Jobs or Vitalik. But the fact that you're not there flexing your bona fides on me in some way, shape, or form, that's kind of a flag for me. I think there are a lot of products that pop up like this that are like mid-micro market, not micro market cap, but mid-small market cap. This is like 22 million. They usually reach about this level that offer some kind of utility, that have some kind of demo. But they don't really, they don't really bring it to fruition. I think there are so many projects like that in crypto. You get kind of used to sniffing them out after a while. And that's one of the biggest flags that this is like a potential limited project. There's no team attached. Just vibes.
Just vibes.
Just vibes. Jimothy asked about Bepe on base, and I'm glad to bring up the chart if you want to see it. But my take on this is, it's been here for a couple of days. It's established itself. Base is a growing in volume meme ecosystem, and this is it's one that seems to have resonated and struck a chord with people. It's almost certainly not a scam. If it is, they misplaced the trigger to do a rug pull. And I don't know anything about the community because I haven't been hanging out there, but the chart looks good. For me personally, as an investor, it's too late to invest because at $13.3 million in market cap, the longer a meme goes on, the less likely it is to go further. And to double my investment in value, I'd probably have to wait several days, and it'd have to reach a $26 million market cap. For me, That's not the way to go. Now, there are a lot of people who would prefer to bet on more established memes. And make no mistake, the next most established memes, the Shiba Inus, the Flokis, whatever, they're not going to be on Ethereum. They're already on Solana. But if they're going to pop up somewhere else, Base, Avalanche, I don't know what else you'd say, seem likely contenders because they're showing some activity. But right now, man, the data says Sol. So
real quick, I want to look up. Someone just mentioned share. Take a look at that.
And let me say about to JP too, who's talking about JP. If you're talking about the website for a ring, I think the idea is great, and I'm not saying it can't be a great product. Oh, is he talking
different
about something else?
Different project.
Oh, okay. Are you talking about HEEEHEE?
No, he was asking about something. He said he found something on Sol called Share, and I just asked what the first impression was.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alex. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yep. All good. Real quick, Angel, I have heard about Zion. I'm not familiar with Creso or whatever. Started to look into it. Haven't gotten too far. I had a couple comment questions about it the other day, so I figured I would kind of take a peek. We could do like a first impression.
That would be a fun one.
I haven't
really. I like looking at wallets. We were talking this week. What is our show going to be about this week? What loose theme are we going to bring to you that we can get derailed from? And we were talking. We've done a lot of conceptual one-on-one stuff. We've looked through some things. I really enjoy looking through products together because Alex, I love hearing your take on would you use this product? Why? Do you think other people would use this product? How does it compare? We've gotten a lot of data at this point from all the stuff we've tried. Yeah. Okay.
So, Jimothy, I respect your passion. We've talked about Beppe. That particular comment is not overly helpful because it might, but it also might not. We simply don't know. So Godspeed. But rest assured, we
like my friend Alex sometimes says, if it doesn't, I'm curious how that will cause you to reevaluate your opinion.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing to ask people when their flagrant price prediction does not come true. Okay. Real quick, there was a question earlier. I apologize, I don't remember who it was, but just about like how do you actually buy these things that are not listed on Coinbase? That is absolutely, I think, going to be two. I'll say three things about it. One, we can cover it very quickly here, just to kind of give you a vague idea of the process. I think Evan and I this week, Evan, I think one of our like dedicated videos for YouTube should be that kind of process, like a start to finish. I have absolutely nothing but the desire to purchase something that's not on Coinbase.
Dream and a prayer. Yep.
Yeah. Exactly. I got some spare change that's burning a hole in my pocket, and I want to throw it at a meme or I want to throw it at something that's not listed here. What do I do? And so we'll make a quick tutorial video. When I say quick, I mean probably 15, 20 minutes that will go from scratch. Make a wallet, put some crypto in the wallet, connect it to a decentralized exchange, make a swap. And that is kind of that bare minimum process for how to purchase these things. So for anyone who wants to know the process, that's what you would need to do. You need to pick the project or the token that you want to get involved with. Make sure, do your thing. All the things we talk about all the time. Figure out the things we need to know are what blockchain is it on? Is it on Solana? Is it on Base? Is it on Ethereum? Is it on Polygon? Is it on Avalanche? Then we need to make a wallet that can link with that. For the most part, MetaMask will work. If it's on Solana, you have to use a Solana wallet. So you could use Solflare or Phantom. Personally, I like Phantom, but I just made a Solflare yesterday to mess around with it, and it was also a really nice interface. So there's that. Then you need to put cryptocurrency in that wallet. And the best way to do that is to purchase it on something like Coinbase or like Binance or Kraken or whatever, centralized exchange is your, go-to entity for, initial on-ramp or off-ramp. On-ramp is the process of turning US dollars or your local fiat currency into a cryptocurrency and putting it on chain. And then off ramp would be the process of taking whatever you have now done and selling it back into your native currency, something that you can pay your rent with and buy groceries with. The next thing would be to make sure that the crypto you have acquired actually trades with the thing you're looking at. So, for example, maybe you buy USDC, you buy a stable coin, and lots of things trade against USDC. Lots of things trade against USDT, Tether as well, but not everything. So perhaps the 1 hour old super niche, super fresh meme coin on Solana does not have a USD C or T pair. So you would need to convert that into Solana to make that swap. You'll be able to tell, by looking at the pair on one of the audit websites we've gone over. It really is a lot of steps, Eddie. It really is. However, I will say that it sounds a lot worse than it is. It's not great though, and this is one of at least my biggest personal hurdles with getting people involved in Web3 is the very first time you do it. Like at this point now, all of my steps have been done. If I want to do something new, I just scoot a couple things around and it's all set up and ready to go. But if you're doing it for the first time, it really is a lot of steps, especially if you've never made a centralized account, a centralized exchange account before, because you need to KYC. So there's going to be it's just like opening a bank account. You have to prove that you are who you say you are, usually with uploading scans of identifying documents like your driver's license or your passport. And you might have to connect a bank account or, use a debit card or a credit card or whatever the preferred method for you is, or whatever the exchange you're looking at requires. Then you have to actually make the purchase. Then you have to wait so long before you can withdraw it. It's not quick. I'm trying to remember what my first one looked like. I think it was probably Coinbase or Kraken. It was one of those two. I don't remember. It's been a few years. But yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but I do think that it is a skill worth learning. And I hope that these things get better. There are other options too, besides centralized exchanges. Like for example, I attempted to purchase USDC yesterday through Phantom using MoonPay, and I just abandoned it because it was just give us your social security number. And I was like, yeah, no thanks. Yeah, look for a video from us this week on going through, and we'll do a screen share and all that sort of stuff. To walk you through that process. But not liking Soulflare so far, but it's my first. I will say I liked Phantom better, but I haven't given Soulflare enough of a chance.
I haven't either.
If you search Faceless Labs on YouTube, you will find us.
Yeah, I posted it in the chat just above, and I also want to tell you it's at theriseupmorningshow.com. Easy URL to remember. It's the show you're tuning into right now, theriseupmorningshow.com. Find us and like us. Really, really like us. I'm looking up this Zion wallet. I don't know about Creso wallet, but Zion wallet was new to me. Alex, do you know either Zion or Creso?
No, not beyond hearing the name Zion and seeing a lot of requests to discuss it.
Yeah, okay. So let me give you a TLDR real quick. The one question I'm trying to find the answer to still is, what does the Zion token do? If you could maybe help by just kind of peeking into that. I know they have a white paper on their website, which is like a slideshow. And I haven't been able to read through it. I was just getting background. The Zion wallet is a product that is not yet available, but it is coming soon. You can get on the wait list. And I'm looking right now to see if I can find more about the team, because they've got this website that I think is actually pretty interesting, and they've got this proposition that is fairly cool. So here's the page. Zion, buy and store cryptos like never before. And really quick, personal pet peeve of mine, I don't know why, is when people add an S to crypto. I tend to refer to many cryptos together as crypto. Look at all these crypto I hold. I don't know. My personal preference, I'm a snob. So here we are, buying and storing our cryptos on Zion Wallet. And this is the big thing about it. It is a smart wallet compatible with ERC 4337 and social recovery, allowing you to trade, hold, and send crypto with unprecedented ease. Specifically, it supports social recovery, and the claim is that you therefore don't need a seed phrase. In order to understand what it is and why it matters, we got to talk very briefly. I know you're ready to go to sleep when I say it, about ERC 4337. And it's Ethereum request for comment is something that happens in the Ethereum community. It tends to be different types of token standards. And honestly, 4337 is something I had to Google, but it sounds like it's an account abstraction protocol that allows you to avoid the need for any kind of consensus layer protocol change. So like you can sign things that one can do on chain using an off chain identity. I'm trying to see if I can find the simplest explanation for it that gives you all the technical stuff, because frankly, I couldn't teach the class on it yet. But all I understand it to be is about account abstraction. And account abstraction is going to be a big thing in the future where on blockchain right now, your wallet address is kind of like having your bank account public, you know? And sure, I might be able to see your public address and might not know that it's tied to you, but it's not that hard for somebody like me or Alex and somebody even more advanced than us to really find out who you are based on your online activity. Your wallet address is no exception. And so people are trying to find ways to abstract personal data from what appears on chain so that you can have full permission and consent over your assets. ERC 4337 is hoping to do that kind of thing. I don't know technically how they aim to do it, but I can find out. I think that would be great for a wallet. I think it would be great for a wallet to have no need for seed phrases. I think that's, terribly unfriendly for users. I think most people will appreciate a simpler solution. And it sounds like this is a solution that doesn't require you to give up control the way your Coinbase username and password might. But I need to verify that. Alex, did you find anything about the token? Oh, and sorry, let me say the last thing. The wallet is not available for use yet. You can join the wait list. And I'd probably join the wait list because I like to try new products. But I don't know about their token, and I'm skeptical about the token. Like, if your product is a wallet, why do you need a token? Like, what are they using the token for?
Yeah, that's a really good question to ask yourself every time. Like, and it because it may not even really say anything about the viability of the project itself. And my favorite example for this is VXV Vector Space. It was relentlessly hyped last bull market, and there are still I can tell that too many people bought it and are bag holding the shit out of that thing because I see the comment pop up a lot. What about VXV? Which is seeing that comment is code for I'm a bag holder. And basically what to ask yourself, because this is the reason I never bought any VXV, is I went to the website and first impression was this project sounds awesome. Like I totally understand why this thing is being built. I could totally see demand for this thing, for this service. I'm not talking about the token right now. I'm talking about the project vector space. And I'm talking about vector space, but you can apply this to anything. This is just like how I approached it. Project seemed awesome. The team was so stacked. Their roadmap was very clear. Their documentation was really easy to read and really easy to understand. It was a really complex subject, right? It was like, this huge AI related data project that did all these complex things, but they like broke it down and explained it very, very nicely. I thought it was really great. And the one question I could not answer, and I still can't, is why on earth do they need a cryptocurrency? They didn't. They simply put, they did not need a crypto. So that made me think that the only reason the crypto existed was for them to raise money. And it turns out that, I mean, that's probably exactly right, because now I have not seen them say anything about their token or, future plans for it or whatever. At first, the idea was that you needed the token to pay for the services, which is a classic on-chain, the classic crypto utility for a coin is like, oh yeah, you got to buy our crypto because then you need to use our crypto to do the thing. But that's not the case. You could pay for their service with your credit card. You could pay for it with a whole number of different things. You could pay for it with Ethereum. You could pay for it with their token. You could pay for it with just dollars off your credit card, like I said. So it absolutely did not need to exist. It still absolutely does not need to exist. And so, that's an immediate and resounding no. Now, it's worth noting that just because it doesn't need to exist does not mean that the token itself cannot rise in price, right? Because hype drives the price. So it's very possible that a completely useless project with no utility and no purpose runs like crazy and makes someone a lot of money. Just, be careful and understand what it is that you're getting into with that, because the risk of longevity for a token that does not have an actual purpose is much higher than anything else. Like Ethereum or Solana or Avalanche, the native currencies, those are more secure than something like that just because there is actually a purpose for it. You actually do need it to use that network. Now, it's possible that everyone gets over the network and decides they want to do something else, and then, the demand for that token dries up and goes away, and the thing does terrible, and it ends up being a horrible investment. But at the end of the day, there was still an actual reason for it to exist. So, yeah, with the project that Evan's looking at, I'm now blanking on whatever it's called that you were just...
ERC 4337. I've got a little more on it, but I don't see why they need the token. What I do see is it looks like Zion is using, so ER34337, one of the things it does is it batches transactions to make them cheaper without reducing the security. Like they're still going on the Ethereum blockchain, they're just happening together, saving some money. This is something that happens a lot right now with L2s, with rollups. We're finding ways to make all our transactions cheaper without sacrificing security. And Zion Wallet, it looks like, is going to pay for your gas. Like the wallet is not necessarily gasless. It's just that you don't pay for the gas, which is nice, simplifies, and removes a barrier to entry. Go ahead.
It's worth noting that may seem sketchy, but that gas grants on new projects are actually pretty common. I wouldn't expect it to last forever, but it's a pretty common thing that for a brand new protocol that is trying to attract early users and get people to use the platform and do whatever, will allocate funding from their treasury to cover gas for the first X users for the first X months or whatever, whatever their time frame is. It could be anything.
Yeah, and I couldn't find anything about how they're doing multi-sig or about how they're eliminating the need for seed phrases, what it means to do social recovery. But just based on what I've seen from this project, I would be willing to look into it more. It looks like it's a little nerdy, like they're trying to build for everyday people and they're maybe getting stuck behind some technical language, which is not uncommon in the crypto space. I'd like to see more about who's their team. I'd want to join the waitlist and play around with their product. But generally speaking, would research more from me, want to know more about the token. And so that's my thought. Or will be, Angel had a question about it. Hidden fees.
Unlikely.
Fees. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say hidden fees are kind of a very Web 2 thing.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to hide a fee when you have to, manually approve all of this stuff. There could be, nonsense fees, but
Yeah, totally.
hiding it, really the only fee that's going to be a thing is going to be gas, and then it really just depends on, the network and whether they can handle volume. Because I know Base, when I was first playing around with Base a couple weeks ago, I was paying 1 penny, 2 pennies in gas. And then a lot of attention came to it. And now all of a sudden we're paying 30 cents, 60 cents, $1, which is, worth noting. So I wouldn't worry about them like hiding fees, but maybe I guess if you really broke it down, like maybe if they lure people in with too much promise of like gasless transactions or something, and it's them paying for it, they might just kind of conveniently forget to mention when their gas grant is over. Um, but that would be kind of shady.
And I'm sorry, I didn't say this, but Creso Wallet, I was doing the side by side. Creso Wallet looks like a different wrapper for the exact same product. So it's possible they could be competitors, but here's my sneaking suspicion. I wonder if this is like an A/B test. You know how sometimes companies send you two different versions of an email, and usually you only see one? I'm looking at both versions of the email. The information seems almost identical. It's all the same. Join the waitlist. The white paper is structured the same way. I don't know anything about the team, but I am kind of curious. Is it the same product? I don't know. So I would definitely need to dig more. But I would dig more into both these. Love people who are consumer crypto is my favorite area of the industry, probably. People building applications that everyday people will use that sometimes don't have anything to do with money. Very cool stuff.
Yeah, I think one of the areas that I'm definitely looking at to like be solved and then potentially, have some kind of huge mover would be that idea of solving the custody dilemma for someone who wants to get involved but does not want to assume the mantle of responsibility to be the only human involved in being able to recover their account or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's a tough one.
They're talking on Creso. They give more information about social recovery, Alex, which it
Yeah.
sounds like involves 2FA, Apple, Google, and also like I could do something with you, for example, to verify. Like, hey, Evan put you as one of his trusted contacts without being able to see my stuff. Can you verify that it's me? I'm stuck. Can you help me log in? Did I take the win from your sales? I'm sorry.
Nope.
I know I interrupted you, but you looked really sad about it. I wasn't trying to just rug you.
No. I'm going to forget this if I don't write this down. So I'm just taking a note.
You looked so sad about it. I thought we were just back and forthing. I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, tap the screen for Alex because I don't want his feelings to be hurt by my rudeness.
No. Hold on.
We had a really good question.
Okay.
I see you said, but can cover that story, so I don't want to rug you there. But another question from DWR. What was it you were going to respond to with that? When you said we can cover that story, was it about the SEC lawsuit driving the price of ETH down?
Yes.
Can we back into that? Because he or she, I'm sorry, DWR, I don't know. They asked another question above about Arbitrum. And they said, what do you think about Arbitrum? And I said, do you mean like as a coin or as a network, as an L2? And they said, both really. I would love your thoughts on it being an L2 on ETH and generally with ETH being sued by the SEC for security. So we can tackle all that at once. Like, what are the implications of projects built on top of Ethereum now that the Ethereum Foundation and the ETH network are targets of an SEC investigation? Is it going to drive price down? Is it going to hinder the ability of people to build on top of Ethereum? What's going to happen to my investments? What's going to happen to all these products? Because Ethereum is the most robust blockchain ecosystem, bar none, in terms of the L2s. And now that they've done the Denkun upgrade, we don't have to talk about it, but they've enabled something called blobs that will make those fabled things called L3s possible, which are basically just very specific apps, dApps, on top of an L2, on top of an L1, super fast, super cheap, super specific. So I don't know how you want to tackle that. If you want to start with like our thoughts on Ethereum and the SEC, or if you want to talk about L2s like Arbitrum, but I'm glad to kick it to you however you think it's best to contextualize this, because I think it's a great question.
I think just to start, because I'm sure that the SEC story is on some people's mind. And two of them have broken, right? So we got the news a few days ago that the SEC was investigating Ethereum, and then that they are planning on pursuing, which, in the grand scheme of things means nothing. The SEC is probably planning on pursuing basically everybody. And
surprise,
SEC investigations are a dime a dozen. It means nothing to say that they're investigating anybody. I am very curious to watch how the SEC fumbles this one because they couldn't land they couldn't stick the landing with a private, not publicly traded, centralized company that had maybe or maybe not had questionable launch practices in and around their token. What do you think the odds are that they're going to be able to get after, a foundation that is like loosely attached, but that is not the launching entity on Ethereum? I just like it. What was a reach with XRP and Ripple is like a football field sized stretch with Ethereum.
I would say Ethereum now.
Ethereum now.
And I wasn't paying attention to crypto when this happened. Not like I am now.
The
But
ICO.
I was reminded the other day that their ICO
Yep.
was basically Vitalik saying, trust me, bro. Like a lot of these meme coin pre-sales
Yeah.
we see now where someone's like, here's the address, send it money. That was what Vitalik had to do. And what he did for
Right.
Ethereum was like, send me money, I'll send you tokens. And I don't know if he was like, this will make you money, illegal like securities offering. But they did have a cash value. They were liquid. And that was like, that would raise red flags for me. If somebody came to me, if Alex Costa came to me and I was like, hey man, I'm doing this meme coin launch, and said that's how he's going to do it, I'd be like, Godspeed. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm with you 100%.
Here's why though. So Gary Gensler, who some of you may know as a chronic moron and probably incompetent individual. I used to have this belief that like while they may be corrupt and while they may not act in our best interest and while they may do terrible things, I had this belief that like government agencies were not incompetent. And it sounds so funny to say that out loud now because like look at the evidence to the contrary. But I used to it's like that belief, when you're a little kid and you just have an adult in your life and you're like, oh, they know everything. They can do anything. And then you become an adult and you realize like most of the time that you talk to a child, you're just like
You're totally BSing everything.
you're absolutely just bullshitting the hell out of that poor little kid and just lying straight to their face about something you have no clue about. Just to save face and keep up the illusion that adults are all geniuses. That is 100% Gary Gensler's SEC. It's just an adult who is accidentally in this position of authority and has no fucking clue what they're doing. And my proof to support that is that in 2018, dumbass Gary literally said on record that he does not believe Ethereum is a security.
Yeah, we got the receipts, dude.
Yeah, and now here we are 6 years later. And there were comments by the SEC to make that same claim about XRP and Ripple back in the day, right? Different person, not Gary, but still an SEC operative, someone who was speaking for the agency. And he was in 2018, he was pretty confident that Ethereum was not a security, and now his agency is investigating and pursuing securities violation charges or suspicions against Ethereum. So I absolutely can't wait for this absolute dingleberry to take the stage and try to make this case again, given too that this man could find the most massive, flagrant securities violation of all securities violations, and nobody would believe anything he has to say because he's just like such a tool. He's such a joke. And I used to repeatedly say that like his MIT course was worth watching. I still think that there is valuable information in there, and I really can only say that because the person that you watch teach that course and this idiot are two completely different people. I don't know if he was abducted by aliens and his brain was switched out with a moldy potato somewhere in between, but like this absolute, go look at his Twitter. That poor fuck gets ratioed on every single thing he's ever posted. Mm-hmm. Like the intern running his Twitter account is a masochist, or they would have discontinued that account ages ago. So Winsanity, that's kind of what we're talking about right now. I personally have a very hard time believing that that this is anything relevant. I'm sure that they're going to drag this shit out. This is really the strategy here. If I had to put my finger on what I think the actual strategy or the actual play is, the SEC wants a win, and they're really just trying to find somebody that they can out litigate, someone that they can just drain in court because they can sit in court forever, because a company or an entity has to fund their own legal bills, but the SEC's legal bill gets footed by all of us collectively.
Yeah.
So their only strategy, if you can't win, and you'll see this a lot, this is a very common practice in the judicial system in the United States, is bring a case that you have the right to bring, even though you know you can't win, and defeat your opponent, your victim, in court because you have more money and you can afford to keep them in court too long for them to survive. And then regardless of whether or not you win, they fold. That's what they tried to do with Ripple. And it's hilarious that they couldn't succeed, because Ripple was not only able to outmaneuver them and stay alive, but they've continued to advance their protocol. It is absolutely a delay tactic. It's 100%. That is the goal here. It's, you know the old saying, like, if you don't know how to, if you can't tie a knot, tie a lot. That's the idea. That's their plan. If you
I've never heard that saying before, but I like it.
If you can't win, in court, just keep them there longer. Winning in court is not about who is legally correct in this country. It is about who can afford to stay in court longer. That's the sad truth.
That's why Morgan & Morgan are so successful, honestly.
Yeah.
We go toe to toe with the big insurance companies.
Well, it's like, if you'll hear often, that you should fight every traffic ticket you get, because most cops don't have time to go to court for traffic confrontation. So the cop won't be able to show up, and you'll just get the case dismissed. And that is your right to go to court and fight that. But it's bullshit that you can get a speeding ticket because you were speeding, and then because the cop is overworked and underpaid and doesn't have the time to go to court and do the thing, you win. That's not justice. That's just a flaw of the legal system.
Update, Ryan.
Yep.
I want to hear. Can you? You're not missing anything here. I'm going to expound on exactly what Alex said, and we can't. We're not going to try and request or anything, but I want to know the update on HEEEHEE token. Will you report back to us in 5 minutes? Alex, I obviously we're totally in sync on this. I wanted to add a little bit of context. I did some snooping and research here, because Ripple has made comments on this, as has Paul Grewal, the chief legal officer at Coinbase, both of whom echo your sentiments. They say, from Garlinghouse, first, he's positive the SEC is going to lose this case. The SEC has picked fights with the industry and is losing badly in courts. And now he highlights this. They're fighting fellow regulators, the CFTC. What's he talking about? This is so important to me, and this is why I'm baffled about it. Years ago, the Commodities and Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC, a sister organization to the SEC in the United States, labeled Ethereum, Ether, the token, as a commodity. And so it really raises questions like, you're going to call your fellow regulatory agency into question. It's like Batman and Robin show up and they're shooting at the opposite people, or they're shooting at each other. And Paul Grewal, he says, this is no good reason to deny any ETP application. The SEC has repeatedly endorsed the long-established regulatory status of ETH. That's not how the law works. And he concludes, Americans deserve better. And I would say everybody does. It almost certainly, here's the thing though, it really calls into question whether or not ETH is labeled a security. I certainly think it casts any doubt on their likelihood to approve the ETF application. I mean, could you imagine if after all this, Gary Gensler and the SEC approved the ETF? It's what Hester said all over again. How is the public going to trust us? And if they do label it a security, that could really, I mean, I think it could really have implications for proof of stake networks. It's going to have implications for our ability to trust the SEC. Who knows what it's going to do for Gary Gensler. But that is what would concern me. I wouldn't be concerned if the ETF or ETP were not approved. That seems almost to me at this point inevitable. But if it's labeled as security, I would be worried about any network that does proof of stake, because that's essentially what we're talking about. In my understanding of the situation, we're talking about any proof of stake token, because that's what the SEC is saying is a problem.
Here's the thing,
which
though.
would mean L2s. Go ahead.
How? Let's say that Gary's wildest dream comes true. Who the hell is he going after? A bunch of poor like developers that work for the Ethereum Foundation, or Vitalik? Just Vitalik? I mean, can you imagine? They have to know. They have to know that if they went after the foundation, that would be so poorly received. I can't even fathom the level of like public discontent that would come out of that. And what kind of precedent is that setting, in the broad space? Like, oh, a bunch of like open source developer organizations that like help maintain security on a network are all of a sudden just going to start getting sued by a government agency for something that they did not launch. You can't do that. None of the people who are working at the Ethereum Foundation, these devs, the devs that, work on the network, that push upgrades, that design EIPs, none of these people are people who like launched the ICO and profited from it. Maybe there's some crossover, but like you can't pick the foundation that didn't do the thing and sue it just because they're the only option. And then two, what kind of precedent is that theoretically setting? I cannot imagine that a judge would allow that precedent to be set, because it's insane and it's tyrannical and it's barbaric.
No, and one judge said as much. I can't recall who he was. He was a district court judge. He said, "Shame on you. You're really moving the goalposts here."
It's bananas to me.
But at this point, I think we may have differed in the comments, and I'm curious to hear you clarify. I do think that because of what they're doing now, it almost like, unless something seismic shifts before May 20, I mean, we're talking 2 months. My birthday is the deadline, May 23rd. I don't think that ETP is getting approved.
Oh,
and I don't necessarily think they have to do with each other. Like, I think if the ETP is not approved, I don't think it means that the SEC is going to win this lawsuit. But I think this lawsuit means it's unlikely that they're going to approve the ETP. I think Hester is coming home every night and just banging her head against the wall and going into work, because I don't know why at this point. I don't know why she hasn't just retired and quit and started, a meme coin called Gary Sucks. I don't know, but I don't think it's getting approved unless something changes. Is that how you feel, or did I understand you said different?
I do not think that it will be approved right away either. So. I think that they're going to do exactly what they did with Bitcoin, which is kick the can down the road and move the goalposts every single chance they get.
Oh, real quick. Ryan has come back with an update. I couldn't stay along in Alex's live, but the whole chat is filled with comments. Lot to work. Off to work. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you, Ryan, for reporting from the field. We really appreciate it. I also, can I just say, as a guy who is in love with a true Michael Jackson fan, atrocious, man. Put some respect on it. Put some respect on the King of Pop's name. Thank you very much. Get his he out your mouth.
Can you imagine, Evan, last thing on the ETH thing, can you imagine can you imagine what it would do for Vitalik and his credibility and his like fandom in the industry if the SEC went after him individually?
Yeah, absolutely. Could anything make him harder? Like,
they have to know,
life, dude.
They have to know that nothing would be better for the Ethereum community than for the joke agency that the SEC is to decide that they were going to like try to pursue Vitalik.
Yeah, yeah. And could you imagine if Vitalik would absolutely show up in a suit, either in a suit that was like 3 sizes too big, or like would just
No,
show up in his unisocks
no,
and a fanny
dude.
pack and would be like, well, that's not exactly how it works, Mr.
Yeah.
Gensler. You know, like
First
it
of
would be
all,
awesome.
I would pay money to watch Vitalik testify before Congress.
Oh my God, yeah, totally.
Second, remember when they interviewed the tech CEOs and the guy from Google had to explain how Google worked to a sitting congressman that was investigating it? Um, is Google in the room with us? But imagine, I mean, first of all, Vitalik's going to show up in his gray sweatpants.
Yeah.
Because obviously, but guys, strap in for the memes that would happen if Vitalik got sued by the SEC or investigated or pursued, or if they tried to arrest Vitalik. Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
I want to draw your opportunity to 2 comments. Angel said opportunity to buy more ETH. Absolutely, I would buy that dip. And 2, DWR with the comment of the day, Evan's hat greater than Alex's hat. And I just want to let you know that my Grammy made this hat for me. One of one, can't find one like it anywhere. I will wear this hat until it falls apart. She saw me wearing it, for the last however many years. She said, Evan, don't you want me to make you another hat? That one's so old and rad. I said, no. I said, are you kidding me? I love this hat.
You know, Evan has been fully in his Radagast era for years now, and the fact that you haven't been Radagast for Halloween is a crime against humanity.
Yeah, I probably could summon a bird if I went outside right now and just stood there.
Dude, start the planning for the costume for this year because I want to see Radagast.
Okay, I'm on it. We had a request for a couple more. I don't have a super hard stop, but I would like to start winding the unhinged thing down because I want to prep for this class. I need to go outside and visit the birds and the bees. But
Yep.
we got Angel asked about Orderbank, and then somebody who asked about IRS coin. I didn't see that.
I
Is
don't
that what
know.
it was? It was in all caps. He was very urgent about it. Are you still in here? Hera's Paradise. Hera's somebody.
I assume it's a meme.
IRS coin. It was on Coin Market Cap. They said so. And the glasses are from Warby Parker. Alex, I don't know how we didn't think of it before. This show is not sponsored by Warby Parker,
It should be.
but it could be. We get more comments about our glasses and about whether or not we're brothers, and I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'll email Warby Parker today.
You email Warby Parker, and I'll email 23andMe to find out if we're just somewhere down the line, I looked up Orderbank. If you want to look up this IRS coin, I looked up Orderbank, and it sounds like just a protocol that is trying to help people make ordinal and BRC20 assets a little more liquid. I don't know enough about it because it's got strong documentation. Just look at this. This looks like frankly, like a little bit of a nerd website, which honestly is kind of a green flag for me. Like, looks like some developers wrote that. Everything's got a tutorial. It doesn't seem to emphasize hype. It seems to emphasize like being concise but thorough. And I would really need to read the whole thing before I could tell you like, what do I really think about it? That's a green flag for me though. I'd be curious to know what their token does because they do have a token. It looks like it does too much stuff. Governance, native fee accrual, user discounts, rebates for the Orderbank platform. But I would imagine it's some sort of exchange token where they have a bunch of these assets that are on native Bitcoin that the Orbank token represents. That's one of my biggest criticisms of most people who have a token, aside from what Alex said, do you need a token, is number 2, the token is doing too much. If your token is meant to represent a basket of assets, that's great. But if it's also like representing governance, that means people can buy power in your network. If if it functions as fee accrual, then how does that affect like the price of the underlying assets? What if people use your platform too much? What if they don't use it enough? Kind of thing. User discounts, again. What if the price of the token changes over time because speculators make it really volatile? Is it still helpful to use a very expensive token for discounts or very volatile token? So I don't know. I'm not crazy about that, but I would definitely learn more about this. I think given the hype of ordinals and just given the ability to expand what Bitcoin can do, that's a good thing. And people doing that, like that's what crypto's all about. You got anything on the IRS token?
No, I didn't even look.
Important question. Can Evan's Grammy make Alex a warm hat? He looks chilly. Dude, I'm gonna get Grammy on that. You what color would you wear a knitted beanie like this? Do you want a tighter, less floppy one? And what color would you want it to be, bro?
Black.
Black, like my soul. Okay.
I don't know. I'm not a huge knit hat.
No, but he'd probably wear it for the vibes if we, were on the show together once or twice.
I could tangle with it for the vibes. I do like the slender ones. I mean, this is utilitarian. This is just keeping hair out of my face.
Yeah, and Alex's hair is looking good.
Ugh, it's running rampant right now.
Wild like my heart. Get it branded. That's a great suggestion. Yeah, okay. Hey, real quick too. I was thinking, Alex, for Rise Up After Dark. We've got the Rise Up Morning Show coffee mug. I always say on this channel, we're never going to try. We're not crypto influencers who are going to try and sell you something except maybe a coffee mug. But we were talking about, taking the merch to the next level. We've been talking about hoodies for a minute. We've got some cool designs. But for Rise Up After Dark, if that gets some traction, I think we need beer glasses. And I think they need to have that the it's so hard to see on my mug, but the cool background print all over them. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, this IRS thing is a dead end. There's like 12 different IRS ones, and they're all just stupid memes.
Oh yeah. Well then, invest at your own risk. It might be gambling. IRS token. I mean, it sounds like a meme coin. It definitely does.
They're all. Got half my family sitting in the audience.
Oh hey there, mother. Is that your sister?
That is indeed my sister.
Outed. Hey. Following. Absolutely love it. Yes, Steins. Waiting for my mug to get here. Linda, Tori's arrived today or yesterday, was it, Tori? So yours should be coming imminently. And thank you so much for supporting the show that way. Once it arrives, I will also send you via email a mug POAP. Our plan in the future is to tie those kind of things to different sorts of access. We're building the infrastructure for it so that when it is available, we can do it. Fun fact, Alex, I was in the Shoup test yesterday. So for anybody who doesn't know, we're working on a platform that will complement the Shades of Sin mobile game and eventually, hopefully, many other social use cases across sectors, powered by blockchain, mostly in the background. The way it's going to work is you will be able to find communities based on the common tokens you hold. And that's you as a consumer, if you want to know where the other Call of Duty players are at, and also you as a brand. If the Rise Up Morning Show wants to find everybody who listens to the Bankless podcast, and then we can send each other tokens. We can share our tokens and use tokens to express different kinds of things in this social network. A token that represents you are the player who has played the most hours of this game would be valuable to prove that you own. It's an accomplishment, an intangible thing that's hard to represent and hard to prove, but would be valuable to attest to. And so Shoup is going to be the platform that brings people together, allows them to share their accomplishments, achievements, flex on each other, and collect those kind of markers, create them together, and share that kind of value. And we were playing around in it yesterday. It's got some bugs, but man, the Rose Holman folks those guys have done a great job, a really great job. I'm very excited for people to get in there and start making their Shoups, and we registered the whole POAP protocol, but we don't have the Gnosis POAPs registered. You got to migrate them to mainnet, so I'm not sure how we're going to work around that now.
It's a little.
It's clunky, but I'm very excited about it because it's only up from here. It'll be really great to start getting people on different contracts with their tokens in the game, in other communities in there to play around. It's really quite fun.
I mean, like I said, I want very badly to, if the point of the thing is to, be able to show off your accomplishments on chain and, commemorate those things with tokens to prove that you did the thing, which is very much the point of POAP. It would be really cool to work with POAP to basically put together, the Shoup protocol that would essentially allow anyone who's done a tokenizable thing to get an NFT to commemorate it. So for example, you did you actually buy Pepe the day it launched, and are you actually up whatever?
Yeah.
Do you have the Shoup for it, which would be just a special kind of POAP that is, proving the fact that you, did that. And that way, the protocol users or the token creators of, any one of these things, would be able to do something exclusively for their OGs. Another, pre-sale of Pepe's funny uncle or whatever launches next that, is only available.
Funkle token? Pepe's Funkle?
Yeah. only
right back.
Airdropped to everyone who has, held and not sold Pepe for X amount of months or something like that. There is a never ending amount of things that it would be cool to be able to get credit for doing.
Yeah, 100%. And that's coming. That's coming soon. And Tori, you talk about blending the physical and the digital. So we've created POAPs for all the products we have. That you can buy on our site. We send POAPs with our newsletter. We do POAPs all the time for everything. And one of the things I am doing with you bought a mug, so you're going to get an email that has your unique link to mint a POAP. But what I really want to do, and e-commerce is just kind of catching up, is I'd like to send a message with everybody who buys a thing that is unique, so that you and Linda don't get the same message. You get a message that says thank you, rise up, and has your unique mint link, or even better would be a QR code. It's just tough to do drop shipping, one-off stuff, print on demand. It's awesomely sophisticated, but not as sophisticated as we'd like it to be to integrate that kind of thing. But how cool will it be when you send somebody a zine and it's got a unique QR code on it and they claim their POAP that gives them I don't know, the digital version that flutters when its pages are flipped. I don't know, behind the scenes art, a personal thank you message from you just for that person. When your Taylor Swift concert ticket has a unique thank you message because you bought a VIP pass or whatever, all on chain, all connected, totally secure, totally verifiable. Red leather, yellow leather. That's my sign. That's my sign right there. I'm about well met, Alex. Are you about well met? I think we've made it.
Yeah, I think so. So just to wrap up, if you are not signed up for the newsletter, please consider doing so. You can do it for completely free at the links in both of our bios. Pick your favorite, either way. And the newsletter is currently being rehomed because Mailchimp deplatformed us yesterday. We're investigating an alternate distribution service for the standard email thing, and then we're also now investigating an on-chain option with SOLMail, which I'm pretty excited about. So stay tuned. If that is something that interests you, be prepared to give us a Solana address if you would like to participate in that. But there will be lots more information on that coming. Don't worry about anything quite yet. And then Evan and I filmed some YouTube videos last week that are hopefully all three going up this week. That's my plan. And then we'll be making that a regular thing. So expect at least one a week. shooting for more. So if there are things you would like us to cover, please do not hesitate to give us suggestions. You guys are the ones that the content is for. So if there's something you want to see, just let us know, and we will put it on the to-do list. That's all I got.
Yeah, and if you want to get in touch with us, need to express something like that, find us at theriseupmorningshow.com. Of course, you can use the links in our bio, but that's got the Discord where you can send us a long message, send us a link, whatever. It's got the YouTube where you can leave a comment. You'll be able to see those videos, and it's got the sign up for the newsletter at theriseupmorningshow.com. We've got a video on liquidity and DEX screener. We've got one on token sniffer, how to do some due diligence, and one on how to read the blockchain explorer. And Tori was saying in the comments, oh, I need videos like that. And maybe Tori, you've been so helpful to us. Maybe we can have you backstage one day if you're interested, and just body double and listen in the background and hear us, and then stop us at the end and say, nope, not enough. You need to be slower or more deliberate, or you need 3 more examples, or that was just right. So if you've got a topic like that, I agree with you, Alex. I think we should do, the total journey, fiat to crypto and back. Definitely should do that. But who knows? We really would love to figure out what's most important to you, and then just give the people what they want.
I think
okay.
For that one, Evan, we got to do. I would love to have 2 versions. I would love to have the technical explainer version, and then the story time with Evan version that we call there and back again.
Where I go to a Bitcoin ATM and feed somebody who looks a little hungry on the way. Honestly, let's do it. Yeah, journeys with Radagast. I'll make sure I have a little bird poop on my shoulder. Leaves in my hair, dude. When it happens, it'll happen here. We'll be back at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, my friends. Thank you for the gifts, for the likes, for hanging out with us and asking great questions. We love you guys. We love what you do, and we're here for you. So until next time, my friends, rise up.